Hello beautiful people, thank you for choosing to watch Space and Style, a show that illuminates various issues surrounding real estate, architecture, interior design trends and much more. I am Olamide Onifade and today we have an interior designer who will be discussing the challenges of being an interior designer, especially in Nigeria. The interior design industry is expanding by the day. New homeowners are now turning to interior designers much more than before, which makes interior designing a necessity rather than a luxury. Despite the growth of the industry, there's still a myriad of problems that constantly plague this industry. I will be joined by a leading interior designer, but before we go into the main business of the day, we have Joy Agbamuhe, an interior designer, who will be sharing valuable tips on common mistakes to avoid when designing your kitchen.
Hi, my name is Joylene Agbamuhe. I am here today to talk about how to choose the best countertop for your kitchen, Now, there are 6 factors to consider when choosing your countertop. The first one is durability. If you're looking for something that is very durable, like you just want to do it once and for all, like forever, you should go for like natural stones, like marble. You can go for granite, and you can go for quartz. Although quartz is not natural, it's not 100% natural. It's 97% natural, just the 3% with a mixture of resins and all. But it is durable. It's even more durable than marble and granite because it's been refined and it can stand the test of time. It doesn't even chip. So that's my best recommendation. The second thing you should consider, the second factor you should consider is cost. How much are you budgeting? How much you want to invest in your kitchen? Now, if you do not have like a really robust budget, you should leave marble out of it because the marble is super expensive, it is high-end. So if your budget is big, it's, go for marble and it will give you that high-end luxurious look, feel and look. But if your budget is not on the high side, I recommend quartz. Nigerian quartz is really affordable. Some type of granite, they are affordable as well. The third factor you should consider is maintenance. Some countertops they really need high maintenance. Marble, for instance, you need to be sealing it every other time. So if you don't have time for that stress of sealing and resealing because it's porous, a porous rock, you should go for something that requires little or no maintenance, like quartz. Again, is my best recommendation if you are looking for a low maintenance countertop. Then the fourth factor you should consider is stain resistance. Some stones, some countertops they can't resist stain. They are porous, so it means they absorb liquid. If you pour wine or red oil or our local soup like banga soup on it, it's going to stain. For example, marble countertop is not stain resistant. So if you have a very busy household, is busy, always entertaining, go for something you can easily maintain. Quartz, again, is my best recommendation. Let's talk about heat resistance. Heat resistance, natural stones have high heat resistance. For marble, it's high in heat resistance. Granite is also high in heat resistance. Quartz is not so much. I don't advise you to drop a very hot pot of soup on a quartz countertop. And finally, consider look. What look are you going for? If you want a contemporary look, marble will give you that look. Luxurious look, marble will give you the look. Quartz will also give you a contemporary, modern, classy look. But if you're doing traditional, go for granite. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for staying with us. I am joined in the studio by Subulola Agbi, an interior designer of over 10 years of experience. She owns Lady Carpenter Homes and Furnishing, an interior design and furniture making firm. Thank you for coming, Subulola.
Thank you for
Have
having
you
me.
been? I remember when I approached you, I said lady carpenter, I said lady lawyer. It was so funny. Okay, so to start with, for anybody, especially women anyway, but I don't want to make it a gender issue at the moment. For you as an entrepreneur in Nigeria, it is very, very difficult. But for the kind of business you do, all we see is the glamour. You go into a property done by a professional designer and it's wow. But of course, we know that there are always a lot of challenges. So we'd like to bring, to amplify this kind of problems so that people can also see that you people also go through challenges. So to start with, what are the main challenges you have in this business?
Okay, let me say number one challenge is people don't want to get the service of an interior designer. They feel, why do I need an interior designer? I have an architect already. But the truth is, an architect is an architect. An interior designer is an interior designer. We both work hand in hand to make your home very comfortable for you. So we always advise clients, when you have a project, like a building project, upon the starting of the project, as your architect is working,
you are engaging the services of the interior designer.
So the issues we have later on would be able to solve the issues from the beginning. Where we don't need doors, we'll let the architect know, okay, we just need one door here. We don't need to have an extra door here. Okay, this TV wall, we need it free. We don't want any windows on this wall. Because most times when buildings are up already and we come in as interior designers, we end up finding out that there are too many windows in a room. There are too many doors, limiting us to be able to work with our full potentials. Like you come into your living room, there's meant to be a wall dedicated for the TV. That's the TV wall. But once you have a window on that wall or a door on that wall, already defeats the purpose. So now the client is caught in between. Do I lose the window or do I lose the door? But they don't understand how that would affect their space design. So we always advise clients, like, engage your interior designer from the beginning of your building project. And in cases where the interior designer comes along after the project is being done, if we can work with the structural errors, we would with our designs. But if not, we have to amend here and there. Then going to our artisans, they just make it very difficult with delivery timeline. Normally for a basic project, when I say basic project, let's say a living room setup, would give a client 3 to 4 weeks delivery timeline. And you expect that in 3 weeks we should wrap up. By the 4th week we should be setting up and ready to leave the client's place. But artisans believe that they will take their time anytime they finish the job, and they don't know that the client has received a delivery timeline and they are working with that timeline. So most times we have to even pay extra to encourage the artisans to be able to do what they need to do that they've been paid for initially, but you just have to pay them extra, because if you know that, okay, you just need the job to go as fast as possible, you just pay them extra to just get that done. But the client doesn't see all these things that go on behind closed doors. Then we come to our deliveries too. Like sometimes you might schedule a delivery for today. Delivery companies too might have issues with their vans, or maybe you're even going on the road and the last mile or whatever, maybe VIO just stops asking for different papers. You start having challenges. And in cases like that, over the years, I've learned to just communicate with the clients and come out straight, like be truthful. Okay, we're having some issues. Please give us 1 or 2 days to sort this out, or won't be able to meet up today, because the client is expecting you. And once they don't see you, they start feeling there's an issue with their job. So they get agitated. And you won't be able to calmly sort out what the problem is, because the client is buzzing your phone with calls, messages, and some will even threaten you with your balance. Like, if you don't bring it today, I won't pay you your balance. And that balance is not just your money. You have to pay up because we don't collect 100% upfront, just because of the kind of community we are in, trust issues. So the client wants to hold on to a certain amount of money in case anything goes wrong. But ideally, whether something goes wrong or not, the balance won't even sort out the issue. So, but the artisan does not even care whether the client even pays your balance or not. Their own is they must get their balance once they feel they are done.
Okay, so how do you handle a situation where this is what you envisaged, this is the way you visualized it, and the delivery, upon delivery, it doesn't align with the way you visualized it or the way your client visualized it? Because I've been in that issue before. I can remember that, I think it was this chair. I wanted a green chair. I chose this watch. But when it came around, I was like, did I choose this? You know? So how do you balance that?
Well, most times, the issue always comes with the clients. The clients always has an expectation of how they want their furniture piece to look, how they want their space to look after the project is being done. So that's why if we are working on a project, we always advise the clients for us to make a CGI, that's a computer-generated image for them.
But how realistic are these CGIs?
Like, let me say 90%, because most of them actually always, when you do a comparison, they always almost look exactly like what some people can't even differentiate between a live project and a CGI.
No, what I mean is, when the project now comes, you now deliver the project.
Okay.
In some cases, the chairs don't look like what you envisaged. Sometimes you don't get that particular decor. You know, and some clients, I can't be like that. When it comes to things like that, I'm very perfectionist about it. I will not take a no for an answer. This is what you promised me, and this is what we must deliver. What do you do
in that kind of situation? We keep going on. If it's a design mistake, trust me, before we leave the factory, we would have seen it. If it's a design mistake, if maybe the design is not exactly what we're meant to replicate, we would already know where the fault is. And so even before the client points it out, we know. So in that kind of case, if there's that kind of issue, we won't even take it to site. Then if it's like a fabric issue and the client is not exactly sure about the shade, we try to make them understand that, okay, this is what you picked. But if you want a change, sometimes we persuade them, okay, use it for 6 months. After 6 months, we'll change the fabric for you. And some just say they don't want it, please take it away. Either we try to refund or just try to get them what they want. Their satisfaction is our own happiness. Okay,
hold your thoughts. We're due for a short break. You're still watching Space and Style, and my guest is still Subulola Agbi. But we're due for a short break. When we come back, we will continue our conversation. Please don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. We are still talking about challenges facing the interior design industry. And Subulola is still here with me in the studio. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. So before we went on the break, you were talking about managing artisans and clients and relationships. So there's another question that I really want to ask, and the impact of inflation on your business.
Well, it's been a tough one for the interior design industry, because 99% of the raw materials we use are imported, either from China or from Turkey, and it's how will I explain it?
It's very erratic.
Exactly.
This minute is this price.
Is this price? The next minute, you can give a client a quotation today, and let's say, okay, going back and forth on negotiation, it takes a week to conclude. The moment you get to the market to purchase materials, it's something else you're meeting. And you can't go back to the clients to tell them, oh, I'm sorry. The clients would, some would say, okay, let's see what we can do if it's really outrageous. But some will just tell you, you should have factored that in. If I factor in an unforeseen issue, how do you think the bill would be? So it's just been, a crazy period.
In that area, what I think you should do is you should have like a pre-sales agreement or pre-whatever, I don't know what it's called, but a pre-something agreement that now factors that in, because we're in a very volatile economy at this time. So because of your experience, what I think you should do in that circumstance is subject to, at the time of payment, this is subject to change without, you know.
Well, with my experience, because I've been in for a bit, some will even make you beg them, like you'll be at their mercy, like, but we try to balance it. Like we try to, well, thankfully our suppliers are not too mean, let me use that word. Because if they go by the exchange rates, I don't think we'll still be in business anymore. Because you can imagine a sheet of plywood that you were buying maybe 7,500 before, now 18,000 naira. So like,
well, that's steep.
Yeah. So over the years, the prices keep going up and it never comes down. It never comes down. So we have to just keep working with what we have. And because of that, we now have variants of materials. They've subsidized them, what's it called?
Substandard?
Yeah, substandard materials. So if you can't afford the 18,000 naira on, maybe you buy the 15th. But at the end of the day, the client comes back to you over maybe 6 months and start complaining your integrity and your business is on the line just because of. So we try to strike a balance between keeping our products still good, using good materials and quality, and trying to still make profits because we are in business.
Thank you. Because we are out of time, so I'll just ask this last question: what stimulates your creativity? How do you keep the creative juices coming in? Because I see sometimes when I see works of interior design, I'm just like, how did they think of putting this together and it came around like this? How does that happen?
I think honestly, let me just say my motivation is people believing in me. Just people seeing me. Some people don't even know me. Most of my clients have never even seen me before, but just calling me up through my Instagram page. Okay, I like the name, the business name attracts them. Oh, Lady Carpenter, I would like to work with you. So it inspires me, like, okay, people believe in me. So it gives me that drive, that confidence, okay, I can do it. And at the end of the project, when I see my work coming out well, like, I'm pumped up for the next project that is coming. Like, okay, if I can do this, okay, there's nothing coming I can't face. So that's my motivation.
Thank you very much, Subulola. It was nice having you in the studio. Unfortunately, we must end the conversation at this point with our guest, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And to end the show this week is the Artisan Spot. Enjoy.
My name is Musa Ajikoli. I'm into interior and ceiling options. So I've been into the business for a couple of years now. Let me just short the years. 2 decades I've been into the business. Now, the ceiling I'm talking about is suspended laminated board. We have different kinds of suspended laminated board. We have the POP type and we have the normal type in different designs. So this business, why I choose to do this kind of business is it's very easy to install and it's very moved in the market. There's a POP casting that many people used to do in the building, at home. But why I choose to use this one is durable, very easy to install, fire extinguisher, fire resistant, and so on and so forth. So that's why I choose to use the material. Let's come to the installation aspect. If you want to do POP casting, you need to buy a lot of wood. You need to take a lot of time. You need to take a lot of minutes before you can fix it. But this one, it will give you the result of the POP casting that you want, because it's a ready-made materials that has already made material. It has its accessories. This is one of the accessories. We call it grids. It has 2 feet, we have 4 feet, and we have the longer one there to install it. And if you want to install it, you don't need to buy a lot of wood to install it. You don't need to buy a lot of wood to install the material. So it depends on the customer. If you want to buy the ordinary one, you're good to go. If you want to buy the POP type, that you want your home to be like POP, you are good to go. And why this material is good is used for office. It's office uses. If you want to go to any bank, you see it there. If you go to big churches, you see it there. You cannot go to big church and use POP casting there. This is what you are going to use. And it goes very well. There is no day in the market. They must buy it. People will buy it because it's very convenient to get. Very easy to get. Yes, I can advise anybody to go into the business. The reason is it's a good material that go quickly in the market. When you use your money on it, you don't have any problem. You don't have any challenge in it, depending on where you brought your material. Because it's an imported material, it's not local material. It's an imported material. The only place you got challenges is the, what do you call it, apapa, where you want to bring your material. There may be a delays. Then the demurrage charges. That is where you get challenges. But as soon as you get the material to your office, to your warehouse, and you display your materials, it's good to go. It's very good material. There is nowhere you can get the material. Nowhere you go, you see this material.
We have come to the end of the show this week. I am Olamide Onifade, and thank you so much for watching. Until I see you again next week, this is Space and Style.